At what age should children have their own phone? Most parents are asking the wrong question because it's not really about age, it's about readiness. And if you don't understand the difference, you could be given access to something that they're not yet ready for. So let me say this clearly. A phone is no longer just a communication tool. It's a device. And this device gives you 24/7 access to the algorithm. It's its own social environment, and it's a portable reinforcement system. So when you give your child a phone, you're not just giving them a device, you're giving them independence inside systems that were designed to keep them engaged. So instead of asking, what age? What we should be asking is, does my child have the skills to handle what comes with it? Because I know 10-year-olds that are ready, and I know 15-year-olds that are absolutely not. So how do you know if your child's ready? Impulse control. That's readiness factor number one. Do they know how to stop when something feels good? Or do they get sucked into it? Do they need you to step in every time when the timer goes off, or when their time limit is up, or when they should have been finished with whatever they're doing? Because if they can't regulate it, the phone will do the regulating for them. Because they now have a portable reinforcement system. Every tap, swipe, scroll provides the reinforcement that they need to keep going. So if they don't have good impulse control, there's no way they're going to be able to get out of that system. Readiness factor number two, following structure. Can they follow the structure that has been set up for them? Whether it's time, whether it's what they need to do before they're off, or whatever else needs to happen before they access or get off the screen time, can they stick to that structure? If you say it goes off at 8 and then they want to negotiate with you every single night, then they may not be ready to handle following that type of structure. And that's how you know that they may not be ready to handle a device. Readiness factor number three, emotional regulation. What happens when you have to take the phone away? Do they cry? Do they go into hiding? Do they blow up and start to destroy the house? If they do any of these things, or even other things, after they have to get off of screen time or after you take it away, that is also showing you that they're not yet ready to handle the reinforcement that builds around them, that keeps them hooked on the device. And when it's taken away from them, they are not able to regulate their emotions to the point where they can go from one activity to another. So that emotional regulation is key. Typically that develops later in people's lives, but some children have that skill much, much earlier. Readiness factor number four, and that's social awareness. Do they understand what's appropriate to share? Do they understand what needs to stay private? And can they interpret tone online? Because once they're in a group chat, you're no longer there to translate for them. Here's the part that most people don't talk about. The phones do not teach these skills, but they do expose them. So if they don't have these skills already, the phone will make those cracks bigger. So you have to set up a foundation to where they understand what is necessary and what do they have to show before they can have access to that type of a device. So what should you do? You don't need to rush. You can build the readiness first. How do you do that? Start off with shared devices. Also, we've talked about building structure by having limited access windows and then practicing those transitions before they gain independence. Because what you're not doing is withholding, but what you are doing is teaching. So the goal isn't to give them a device as soon as possible. The goal isn't to give them a device so that you can have 24/7 access to them. And the goal really isn't to give them a device because their friends have one. The goal is to teach readiness skills so they're able to handle the device when they do get it. So if you're asking, at what age should my child have a phone? Here's your answer. As soon as they can show you that they are ready to handle it. Now, when do most people develop the cognitive, emotional, and behavioral skills to be able to handle this? Like we said, it varies. But if my own personal opinion, had to put a date on it or a number on it, I would say roughly 17 to 18. Now, I've gone more extreme, and my colleagues say that's too much. I say 25 because that's when your cognitive abilities have peaked out and you're really able to handle it. But that's not realistic. 21, that may be a little bit too old. You do need to know how to use social media and things like that before you get into college, because that's going to be a large part of how you interact. So prior to that, 17, 18, most children are graduating from high school and they can start to prepare for their life after that. So if I had to put a number on it, that's what I would say. But if you have any takeaway from this, the key is that they need to show you that they are ready. If you want help figuring out how to develop these systems that teach your children how to handle the device before they get it, check out some of our other videos. One is what screen time is actually doing to the brain and how to develop a plan without going screen free. And the other one is how to develop a screen time plan that works. Both of those will give you a lot of information about how to develop the structure that you can then practice before giving them their own device. Also, check out our Behavior Bootcamp for Parents. It'll give you just the basic foundations of parenting and behavior so you'll understand the functions of their behavior, how reinforcement works, punishment works, so that you can start to build your own systems and you can act more independently when it comes to those scenarios. So, as always, keep coming back, subscribe, make sure you like this one, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that you never miss anything that we drop. And as always, stay tuned.